This is your introduction to the Lesson 3 Shape Challenge, where you're using the Merge tool, the Shape Builder tool, this one right here. All right. You'll be utilizing shapes from the rectangle to circles, you name it. We're going to be definitely using the selection tool, and you'll have the opportunity to change colors around. But what I'm going to ask is if your stroke is not already turned off, click on that stroke box, make it come to the top, and choose none because we don't want that. Another way you could do it is coming over here to properties, and you could go to the stroke image and tell it to hit no there. It is easier to build shapes when there is no outline stroke. All right, to continue, we're going to look at layers. Wow, there's a lot of layers over here, but notice the very top one says draw here. Okay, hence you will draw there. All right, we need to make sure that that is highlighted while you are drawing. The icons on the left, they're not eyeballs like a normal layer. These are called template layers because there's a picture on it. All right. We don't draw on pictures. We draw on layers or drawing layers above. So you only want to draw on the layers that have eyeballs, not the ones that have the template toggles. Okay. Now, to know what the heck we're drawing, we're going to toggle on and scroll up. I'm just using my scroll tool. This is one of the first shapes that we're going to draw. We're going to merge two shapes together, a circle and a perfect square. So both a perfect circle and a perfect square. You're going to select them both as they are here. See, there's a bounding box around that, and there's a bounding box there. And you're going to use the merge tool to drag between the two so that they become perfectly one shape. And then you're going to use your selection tool to hover around one of the corners, right? Until you get the little double arrows to turn it so that that teardrop starts at the top. Okay. You do not have to use these colors whatsoever. Okay. You can make up your own colors. Just remember, no outline stroke. All right. So you've drawn that one teardrop shape. Okay. Wherever you've have drawn it, just take him and move him down out of the way a little bit. And you're going to turn off shape one toggle, this little toggle right here. This means template. You turn it off, and now you're looking at shape 2. So this has a perfect square and another perfect square, right? So that means if you make one perfect square, you can hold down the Alt key and drag yourself a copy and then turn it, right? You're going to select them both with your selection tool, and then you're going to use the shape builder, but you're not going to add things together. You're punching things out, right? So when you punch things out, you hold the Alt key so that you get the opposite look, and it will punch out what you don't want. And what you don't want is this diamond shape, and what you do want to leave is those. Okay, I would select all 4 of those little corners so that they stay together and then move them somewhere. Okay, when you're done with that, you're picking up a pattern here. We're going to turn off shape 2's toggle, and now you see the third shape, right? You're going to be punching out a polygon in the middle of a circle. Okay, I think we're getting the idea here. And then when you're done with that one, you've got number 4. Number 4 is different. And let me explain how. You're going to be starting with this shape here. So once you've made this shape, hold down your Alt key and make a copy. All right, so you have an exact copy of it. With me so far? All right. Then these are not lines, they are rectangles. So if you were drawing, and let me get myself this similar looking blue just so that it makes a little bit more sense to you here. We'll go with a lighter blue. Okay. When you draw your first rectangle, it's going to be skinny, right? It's a skinny rectangle. And then you can make a copy of it. Watch this. Hold down the Alt key, duplicate, and then you could turn him whatever angle you need him to be for the next one. And then you could do that again. Alt, copy, and then you can move around. So these are still shapes because the shape builder only works with shapes. It doesn't work with lines. All right, that's the key for this one. All right. If you were in the traditional track of graphic design, this is all you have to do. Yay! And when you are done, you were going to save this as an Adobe Illustrator, an AI file, and a PDF. Title it with your last name, Shapes 3. Your last name, Shapes 3. Okay? And then upload back to your folder. If you're an Honors Graphic Design 1 student, pause for the next section.